Now that the G20 Summit was a success and our visitors are about to leave, it's time to talk about Operation Dudula, amongst other protesters. But Operation Dudula. Now this is that moment when the visitors are leaving, where your mother gives you a look and you know that it means this. Because what was that? Honestly speaking, what the hell was that? You probably saw the videos where Operation Dudula left their designated area where they were allowed to protest and try to force themselves into where the summit was actually happening. They ended up being pushed back and being pepper sprayed. And honestly, that was very nice to watch, because what the hell was that? What was the point? What was the aim of doing that? Okay, let's say that they managed to go there and disrupt the summit, or they managed to go and stand in front of Lula da Silva, the president of Brazil, right? What were they going to say there? Yeah, in South Africa, we have migration problems. They have migration problems in Brazil. Let's say they stand in front of Keir Starmer of the United Kingdom, or Macron, or somebody else. They're going to stand in front of them and say what? Yeah, we have migrants who are a problem here. They have migrant problems in Europe. In fact, the problem in Europe is much, much worse. They are arriving in boats there, in waves. So I don't understand what was the plan, what was the aim, other than embarrassing us, because that was going to just embarrass the country. People don't understand the magnitude of hosting something that big. The whole world was glued to their screens, watching that this was even happening in South Africa. If you listen to the language that everybody's using all across the world, they're no longer just talking about South Africa. They're saying that this is the first time in history that this thing happened in Africa, in the entire continent. And we did it without an issue. There were only two issues. The guy was trying to hijack a car and then found out that the police were in the car. That was amazing to hear. And then there was Operation Dudula. Now, understand that other people were also protesting there. Climate change was being protested there and all of that. But they were protesting in an area where they were designated. So they were a designated area to say, you can protest over here. The cars that are coming through, they will be able to see you. But no, Operation Dudula was like, we're going to Dudula this summit. Emana, we already spent 700 million rands and you want to Dudula the summit. Imagine if that had happened and they managed to cause havoc. The entire world was going to be like, we told you, these Africans, we told you it was a waste. Why would you think they can handle something of this magnitude? If you're African, you know that when visitors come, you don't do something like that. Even if you have a problem with your brother and you were fighting the day before, tomorrow when the visitors arrive, you are on your best behavior, because you understand that this reflects on the whole family. It's not just about you and your little brother. It's about the whole family. When those people leave, they're going to be like, that family is unruly. We should not associate ourselves with that family. Please don't ever allow our kids to visit that family. They don't say that child, no, that family is unruly. So that's why you behave. Already, Africa is a place that has a bad name. People don't want to invest in Africa because of a lot of other things, because of wars, because of corruptions, dictatorships, and so on and so forth. But we managed to get all of these people here. The B20 was a success. Even American businesses were there saying that South Africa looks like it's ready for investments. That's what we are looking for. That's what we were asking for. People don't understand the magnitude of this thing and the benefits that it has. And I realized that I don't know if it's lack of information or they're just being ignorant, because if you go on TikTok, all that information is there. You can just come to my page if you want. If this is the first time you're coming across my video, check my other videos. I talk about the benefits. I talk about all of the things that are happening, all the things that Africa and South Africa are trying to change. TikTok has even banned one of my videos. They didn't remove it. They just say it's no longer eligible for recommendation, which means that people are no longer going to see it on their feed. And I know why. It's the video where I'm talking about how this G20 is threatening to take away power from the United States and their control over the IMF and the World Bank. So if you haven't watched it, just go and look. It's there on my page, but you're no longer going to find it on your feed. Now, a big shout out to the women shutdown, because you guys did an amazing job and you were recognized. And now femicide has been designated as a crisis. Now, that's how you protest. You guys did it the day before. So you see, you fight your brother the day before. And on the day, you did not embarrass us. What you were doing was not to disrupt the summit, but it was to send a message. And trust me, videos of women laying down on the floor was widespread all across the entire world. So that was amazing, and you got what we all wanted you to get, which was recognition that this thing is a crisis. But no, then there's Operation Dudula. Now, a lot of parties wanted to disrupt this thing. I don't know if it's for the same reason, or if it's the same funding, or if it's a different reason. We have Trump. He tried everything. He tried to embarrass us and do everything. We have this country that cannot be named. If I name them, they're definitely gonna remove this video as well, who tried to send planes, and they wanted to send more planes during the summit to cause havoc. They failed. We have Solidarity and AfriForum who are putting posters everywhere, thinking that people are not gonna take South Africa seriously when it comes to investment. They fail. But now, when you are a black person, and you saying that we want jobs, and we have seen the positives that have come from this kind of events and this kind of investments, then how is it that you can try to embarrass us just like that? I talk about geopolitics. I wouldn't be talking about this if this doesn't affect South Africa geopolitically. Well, it doesn't because they didn't succeed, but that was embarrassing. That was uncalled for. You can wait until the visitors leave. Then you can go back to query with your brother. That's fine. You can go back to saying whatever you stand for. A lot of people who support Dudula were coming out and saying, no. What are you doing in front of the visitors? But anyways, we're going to see how this thing is going to conclude today, and then we're going to see some of the details of the declarations and the steps that are going to be taken to try to address those issues that Africa has and the developing world has as well. Now, if this is the first time that you're coming across my videos, there's a lot you can find there. Just go on my page. I'm there on YouTube, I'm there on Facebook, and I'm there on Instagram, and I'm there here on TikTok if you're watching this from TikTok. So go and follow me and watch my other videos. I cover everything. The benefits of the G20, the impact of the women's shutdown that happened on the 21st, and also the reason why the United States was very pissed. That's the video that is being suppressed by TikTok, by the way. So go and check this out, and I will see you there.